Hello, welcome. It is Daniel Brown here, hypnotherapist and self-care expert. Today I'm making this little video about how you can let go of toxic people. So toxic people, I'm sure we all have them in our lives. There may be a friend or family member or someone you know in your life who is a toxic person, and perhaps you don't want them in your life anymore. So let's talk a little bit about toxic people and their behaviors, how they behave, and perhaps how they make you feel. So toxic people, first of all, will try and control you. Sometimes this will be a blatant attempt to control you. Sometimes it will be more sinister or more covert, but they will try to control you in some way. Toxic people will also often play the victim, so they'll behave in a way that's really inappropriate and toxic, but not actually take any responsibility for their behavior. They'll put it all on you or put it all on someone else. It will always be someone else's fault, and they'll play the victim, never taking responsibility for their own behaviors. Toxic people also tend to take without giving. It's all take, take, take. And they can drain you, literally drain the life out of you without giving anything back. And that's a really toxic behavior also. Finally, toxic people will also try to drag you into their dramas. And if you resist, if you don't get drawn into those dramas, then quite often they'll turn on you, and then try and draw other people into that drama and turn people against you. So that's kind of an overview of how toxic people might behave. But how can you let go of toxic people from your lives? So first of all, I'm going to point out that it shouldn't matter who that toxic person is, whether they are someone you've been friends with for a long time, whether it's a family member, even if it's a sibling or your mum or your dad, whoever it may be, it doesn't matter. A toxic person is a toxic person, and you actually don't need to have that in your life. You don't need to have to deal with these toxic people, because ultimately it will drain you and you'll feel miserable. You'll just keep wishing and wanting you could escape this person, but actually you can take positive steps to get rid of the toxic person from your life. So here's how you can do it. First of all, don't try and get rid of toxic people immediately and just completely cut them off in one go. If it's easier, do it gradually, make it a process so you have less and less to do with the toxic person until they're no longer in your life. I mean, by all means, if you just want to cut them off straight away, then do it. And I've certainly done that in the past. I thought, you know what, I've had enough of this person. I don't need them in my life. And I've just stopped talking to them because they're just toxic and I don't need to deal with that. So do that if you feel comfortable. But if that's a bit of a tall order for you, then you can just reduce the time that you see or speak or have anything to do with the toxic person and gradually cut down on that engagement, that contact with them, until you no longer have them in your life. Secondly, don't don't be drawn into an argument with a toxic person. Quite often, the toxic person will try and argue and want to know why you're getting rid of them, why you don't want to be their friend or have anything to do with them anymore. And then, of course, play the victim, and make out you're the bad person. But if you get drawn into that argument, you're actually giving the toxic person more power and influence and control. So don't be drawn into any kind of argument or debate with the toxic person about why you no longer want to have anything to do with them. Don't give them that power. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve an explanation. Just let them go, as cruel and heartless as that may seem. Block on social media, sorry. Block the toxic person on social media is my next tip. Um, if you've got them on Facebook in particular, block them on there. Don't have them on your friends list. If you try and get rid of the toxic person, they'll probably start to slag you off, badmouth you, on social media. And actually, you don't need to see that, because that's just more toxic behavior that you don't need in your life. And ultimately, other people will come to their own conclusions and make their own mind up about what this person is saying, and whether they choose to believe it or not, or whether they understand that actually this person is the toxic person, and you're the innocent party, and you're doing what is right for you, which of course you are. The next point is to surround yourself with radiators instead of drains. So surround yourself with people who are positive, people who lift you, people who make you feel good, people who are similar to you. Toxic people are drains, and they will drain all the energy out of you. So surround yourself with radiators, people who make you feel good, people who you really want to be around, and just live your positive best life with those people in it. And the final point is to not feel bad about letting go of toxic people, especially if it's someone close to you, a friend, a family member. You may feel a sense of regret. You may feel guilty about letting them go and wanting to give them another chance. But actually, how many chances can a person have? And life is all about living it in the best way you can, and living in a way that fulfills you and makes you feel good. And being surrounded by toxic people will not help you to live in that way. And ultimately, you're letting go of those toxic people for yourself, for your own health, your own well-being, possibly for your own sanity. So don't feel guilty about doing it, because you're not actually the one in the wrong. So I hope that helps. Do let go of toxic people if you have them in your life, no matter who they are. You just don't need it in your life. You deserve much better. And I hope this video has helped. Okay, until next time, bye bye.